What is up, guys? Megasonic here with another Boruto episode, and I know this one is hella late, but if you guys go on the discussion part of my channel, I do explain why I took a week-long break on this video and why it didn't come up when the actual episode aired. So if you want to understand, if you want those answers, just check the discussion board right on the channel. And anyway, let's get on with this episode. So the episode kind of starts out where we left off with Sasuke running into this cloak type figure. And for those who don't know who this cloak type figure is, this is Shin Uchiha, and he will be the villain of this entire arc. I am not going to give any spoilers on why this character is very interesting or why does he have Uchiha eyes, but hey, who knows? I'm just doing that because I know there's the manga chapters already cover this, but you got people out there who only watch anime. So if you guys feel free to talk about it in the comment section down below. But anyway, Sasuke kind of like runs into Shin, and Shin automatically he's skilled, and he tries to get the one up on Sasuke and grabs Sasuke's sword. Obviously, for those who don't know, Sasuke has one arm. He's considered an amputee at this point because I don't know why he refused to do what Naruto did and get a Zetsu arm, so he don't have to worry about using one arm. But hey, that's how he feels and that's what he wants to do. So one thing I noticed is that Sasuke also, obviously I would think he would know this by now since he had one arm for like the last 15 years, but he learned how to do hand signs, and he, pumps Chidori throughout his blade and shocks Shin and kicks the shit out of him. So Shin obviously sees and escapes. This message is obviously sent to Naruto in them where Naruto reads in is like, okay, something's up, and he calls Kakashi, who is currently retired as more lines he's taking a vacation as Shinobi, but he's retired as Hokage and Naruto takes over. So they're talking about it, and him and they're discussing, and he pretty much suggested that Naruto goes to go meet with Sasuke. Meanwhile, Sadara is, gearing up to go trying to find her father and try to convince Naruto or try to get close to Naruto so she can tell her more about her father. And one thing I like about this is that not correct me, but like pretty much pointed out this. Do you like the original Sadara outfit or the manga outfit? Because so far in anime, she has worn both by now. And I personally love the one from the Boruto saga because it's much more, like the Boruto movie, because it's much more a weird mix of both Sasuke and Sakura's styles. Whether her original costume, not original, but her first costume, which is like this weird handkerchief with this weird like shirt dress thing, and these like little high heel boots, and it just looked like a weird, like it didn't look like the style made no sense, and it went through like several changes before the manga actually debuted. So it's just like I'm glad we get this suit back because it looks more of a State of the Art Ninja type wear rather than just wearing heels in a fight. I don't know. I kind of don't want to see the outfit again. It just looks ugly to me. I'm not a fashionista. I'm just stating. But anyway, so Naruto's talking with Shikamaru about like watch over everything, da 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 da, as well as it goes to a scene where Shin's talking to the real villain of the show. I'm not gonna explain who, but the real villain, and they're talking about Sasuke and how he's a traitor too, and that he killed Itachi and everything, and that he's pretty much a traitor, which is to Uchiha clan, which is weird, and that he's like, we're time to resurrect the Akatsuki's and all that jazz. So it comes back to Naruto, to like Boruto. He's rushing to give Naruto his his food before he goes on his mission, and obviously he's pressed for time and he has to leave. So Boruto obviously is mad at this. So Sadara like they have this elongated, debated speech about like why is this lunch so important, and it gets so long. It's like because the woman who made it, your mother, who cares about your father so much, would love the fact that your father has gotten the food, and she knows that he'll be fed, and and it just like it's all about love and blah blah blah. Like to me, it felt way longer than it did because in the manga, it was kind of like a few panels here and there, and then they just kind of say Boruto was like, "All right, here, fine, take the food." But I guess they wanted to hit it home with this speech, and I was like, Sadara is better at talk no jutsu than Boruto. I'm just going to name that. The title of this episode is Sadara is better at talk no jutsu than Boruto. Keep that in mind, kids. She's better because she convinced this food dude to give her food so she can chase after his dad. So him and Chocho go on their merry way, and as they're walking, they run into Shin, and Shin is like, his job is to go capture Sadara, obviously, to get her Sharingan, which has not been activated until the end of this episode, but also to get her to pretty much use her against Sasuke. So, Shin and them are fighting, and they do a good job against Shin, but Shin is obviously a much more superior fighter than Chocho and Sadara. And one thing I like to say that is when Sadara said Chocho, even though she was complaining that, oh, I feel too slow, and I'm like, oh, I'm fat, like when they were running earlier, somehow Chocho not blitzes, but like moves supersonic fast behind Shin to point and shock Shin. So it's like, how fast is Chocho really? But she's like zips behind Chocho, and she's like, Chocho zips behind Shin, and Shin is just like, whoa, what the fuck? And he dodges, obviously, and they almost get taken out until Naruto jumps in and they fight, and Naruto tries to grab him, and he gets away, and this little weird Zetsu type eye monster little creature thing sees them, and he's like, yeah, dude, this is the 7th Hokage, and this is like one of the strongest ninjas in the entire universe right now. You do not want to pick a fight with him. Let's dip. And they kind of just like, they skedaddle, like, all right, let's get out of here. And it's funny because this whole arc, to me, I feel like the anime is doing a better job at like filling this arc up with more details, and I feel like the manga could have done the same thing. I don't know if like Kishimoto was pressed with time, but I feel like the anime is doing a better job at filling in the gaps a little bit because it left a lot of questions, and then the ending felt very lackluster. But so anyway, they talk, and she's like, "Tell me about my father," and he goes, "Oh, sure." And he starts telling like he's handsome, which is like, he's like, just like me. He was a good student in school, just like me, which we obviously know Naruto is, gassing himself up while also telling Sadara how great her father is. And it's weird too, but it's just like, it's very Naruto, and I like how Naruto is he's pretty much the same guy. He has matured because he's a grown adult and he has a lot more responsibilities. But it doesn't really affect his core personality. He's still the fun, goofy, hyperactive ninja. So, like, he's sitting there and he's like, oh, he's a strong ninja just like me. And he pretty much explains to her how her father is. And she's excited. Naruto and Chocho, they go on a merry way. And Chocho's still doing the whole goofy joke about, are you my dad? And Naruto kind of glances at her like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, what is she on? Like, you know who your daddy is. Like, we all know who your daddy is. Stop trying to play around, whatever. But they go to where Sasuke's meeting, and Naruto, I think he goes to do something before he goes in, and Sadara gets excited and starts charging in there, and eventually, through the love and excitement of seeing her father, her Sharingan activates, and she's finally able to activate her Sharingan. And for those who are like, okay, what's the big deal? Uchihas can do that. The one thing about Uchihas is the fact that most of the time they activate it through stress and like issues. But now it's more in the lines of it's love. Like, it's always been hatred. They activate like, oh god, I'm angry or blah blah blah, and then next thing, poop, boom, there you go. You have Sharingan. Sasuke got it after the whole Uchiha massacre. Itachi got it after seeing so many ninjas died. Seeing like ninjas died after getting killed by Obito. Even Sasuke father got his Mangekyo from seeing his friend die. It's like the Uchiha Sharingan has so much blood and shed and tears behind it that having Sadara, this new generation, one of the last Uchiha, get her Sharingan through the love of seeing her father, it revolutionized the idea of what a Sharingan is. It's not a representation of the Uchiha's pain. It's more of a representation of the Uchiha's vitality. But anyway, enough of the in-depth analysis of the Sharingan. So she kind of runs in and she's like, "Daddy, Daddy," and it's completely dark. In the manga, it looked weird, like Sasuke didn't notice that it was Sadara, but then like it's hella dark in the room. So it makes sense why Sasuke wouldn't catch on that it's Sadara at first. So he pulls the blade out and is like, "Who are you and what do you want?" And she's like, "Daddy." And he's like, eventually his brain, eventually that's where the episode ends. But eventually his brain will catch on to like what happened. It's like, "Oh, okay, you're Sadara. Yeah, that's how you been." So yeah, pretty much that's the episode. I will give it a 3.5 out of 5. The animation was it was average. The action scene was fun, but it didn't do too much. It stuck very close to the manga, but it added a little bit of other stuff. I wish my only criticism is that that whole Sada and Boruto scene kind of dragged on a little bit longer than it should have. I felt like it could have been like a few like I feel like it could have been about a minute or two, but it felt like it felt way too long and it dragged on a little too long. So that's my thoughts on the episode, guys. I know this is like very late, almost a week late, but hey, guys, I have personal matters I have to deal with, such as school and college. But when I eventually get my schedule and everything get situated, I will be doing this every Wednesday like night. I During the summer I did it every Wednesday morning or afternoon, but now these spectator reviews look to be around the evening or the nighttime around Wednesday. If I have a free schedule that day, I'm a very busy guy in my personal life with school and stuff. But anyway, if you like this video, I do these weekly. And all the new subscribers, thank you for coming by and checking this video out. I really appreciate you guys. This is really overwhelming. We just hit over 100 subs, and one of our videos has just passed 2,000 views. And for those who are sitting there just shrugging their shoulders like, damn, that's not a lot. That's a lot to me because it takes a lot to like work on YouTube. And on YouTube, I feel like you have to work hard enough for nothing. And in the end, you do gain something. So shout out to everyone who just like subscribed to a brother. Thank you so much. Well, that's the review, guys. Megasonic out. See you guys later. I will be doing the Dragon Ball Super episode review now.